From lying to the world about solar technology that didn't exist, to doubling prices on customers without them knowing, to having to bail out his cousins from the debt of a solar company he helped start, it's safe to say Elon Musk has a solar problem. He just won't admit it. The remarkable mind of Elon Musk has been the center of many innovations, but a lot of solar disasters. And the big question is, why and when will he get it together? See, Elon is beginning to create a reputation for over-promising and under-delivering, especially in the solar field. Back in 2006 with his cousins Peter and Lyndon Rive, Elon pitched the idea of a solar company that focused less on selling solar as a product and more as a consumer finance solution. Instead of having customers buy the panels, they would let customers rent the panels for less than the electric company would make you pay for electricity. So as long as your solar bill was lower than your electric bill, it would make perfect sense, and SolarCity would end up being the name of this company. And Elon Musk would even invest 10 million of his own dollars to help get the company up and running, which in turn would make him part owner, but he had very little to do with the day-to-day. As we know, he was working on other things. Now, SolarCity was a great company. They had an incredible run. From 2006 to 2012, they were hot. They were leading the nation in solar installs, named the #2 solution for solar energy in the nation, and in 2012 when they went public, their stock went from $8 all the way to $87 in 1 year. Now that's something. All that in only 6 years of business. But things changed once new management got involved. And those of you who watched my video on why solar companies are going bankrupt, you'll know that one of the main reasons every single time is debt and bad management. So in 2013, they were bought by Paramount Solar for $120 million. And that's when things would start to take a turn for the worse. See, now the new game plan was to sell any and every one. Instead of making sales to the right qualified people who were interested in getting solar, SolarCity was now pressuring people to sign the dotted line no matter what. So as a result, they got a rise of orders, but also a rise in cancellations. And this is really bad for solar companies because their whole business model is putting money down up front to get all the materials to start the install. But if a customer decides not to go forward with it, well, now they're left with tens of thousands of dollars of equipment that they can't use. And no company can survive that over a long period of time. And by 2014, after only 2 years of this type of terrible business practice, they were in deep debt. In fact, SolarCity was looking at bankruptcy, but in come our story's hero, dun da da da, Elon Reeve Musk. When Elon heard the problem, he was happy to help family out. After all, it's just $2.9 billion of debt. Or actually, some sources say it was more, so let's just round it up to 3. What's that to a king like Elon? Well, even though Elon was rich at the time, a billionaire even Musk didn't have $2.9 billion of his own money to pay off his cousin's debt. But he knew where to get it. SpaceX and Tesla are rolling in dough. So what's $2.9 billion to the company I started? Just take money from Tesla and SpaceX and just give it to SolarCity, right? Wrong! That's an illegal business practice called self-dealing. See, Musk's job is to make sure that Tesla and SpaceX are profitable and that the shareholders are making money, not to be bailing out his cousins just because they're in some debt. You know, maybe it would have been justified if SolarCity would have been a positive acquisition for Tesla, but it wasn't. SolarCity was deep in the hole and it would take years to turn it around. So the only incentive that a business titan like Musk would have to want to buy SolarCity is just to help out his family. Now me myself, I'm a family man. I understand wanting to help your peoples out. It doesn't make it legal though. Making business moves with the sole purpose of helping your personal situation is called self-dealing, and the board members knew this. That's why they didn't support it. So Elon Musk, being the genius that he is, knew that he had to do something to get the board members on his side. So he sets up this amazing presentation on a former Desperate Housewives set, and the desperation was definitely there. And on that day in October 2016, he told investors that there was new technology coming out called solar tiles or solar shingles or whatever you would want to call it. These futuristic shingles would make those bulky square panels a thing of the past. See, the solar panel was inside the shingle, and depending on the angle that the light was hitting the panel, you couldn't see the solar panel at all, which on the roof of most homes would make the panels completely invisible. It would look exactly like a regular roof. And this was an amazing idea, except that he was lying and they didn't exist. He presented a home like right there was a solar powered home using his technology, but it wasn't true. It was a complete lie. But no one knew at the time, so investors got all riled up and were ready to invest, and all Elon had to say was that he was going to need SolarCity's experience and technology to get the ball rolling. So they greenlit the investment, and he was able to buy SolarCity for $2.6 billion with Tesla money and $90 million worth of stocks with SpaceX money. So this is literally how Tesla Solar got started. It was SolarCity that turned into Tesla Solar because of Elon helping his cousins out. And anyone with a brain could tell that this was self-dealing, but a better way to mask this whole situation was for Elon to say that this was Tesla Solar and that this would be a huge compliment to his electric vehicle ventures, which makes a lot of sense and worked. He had successfully turned a bad situation into a hopeful one until Elon had to make another promise that he couldn't keep up with. So in 2019, Elon had an even better idea than the solar shingles. He came up with solar glass roofs that were made completely out of solar panels. When he debuted the idea and the concept, they became so popular so fast, even big YouTubers like Marques Brownlee placed pre-orders on them and got Tesla solar glass roofs installed on their home. And when all these homes got installed with these Tesla solar glass roofs, the overall reviews were really good. People liked them. So everything should be good, right? Wrong. The cost of making these roofs were so freaking high that they couldn't maintain charging what they were charging to get these roofs installed. So after only 2 years of doing this, they had to raise the price of their Tesla solar roofs by over 50%, sometimes even double, in order to get the installation to be feasible. And the worst part is that Tesla didn't warn their homeowners, they didn't give any notice. They literally were just hoping that no one would notice and that no one would care that the price just went up 50%. Tesla solar systems went from costing $40,000 to over $60,000 overnight, and they were just hoping that no one would notice or care. It was so bad that a $6 million class action lawsuit was filed against Tesla, and Tesla obviously had to settle. And then overnight, by the thousands, people just canceled their Tesla solar roof contracts and backed out of the deal. In fact, Elon had said that once this project gets started, they would be averaging about 1,000 installs per month. Now, as of 2025, only about 3,000 have actually been installed over the 4 years that he said they'd be averaging 1,000 per month. That means that he only reached 6% of the goal that he had set out to have by this year. And what's crazy is that I don't even have a problem with Elon or the solar venture. I think it's good that he's trying what he's trying. It's just, dude, what you say matters. Elon and Tesla are still in the solar game. In fact, their Tesla home solar batteries are some of the best in the market, arguably the best in the market. And these batteries is what's really keeping them in the solar game. And they're good, but I don't know how long until Elon says something that's going to overpromise this and end up in a whole nother solar situation. In fact, instead of being the unicorn of a solar company that he swore that this company would be, Tesla Solar is now just installing panels that are pretty much regular panels, just like you would see with any solar company. So much for innovative Tesla roofs. And the worst part is that none of this is bad. Tesla Solar is a top solar company. It's just when you keep making these extravagant claims and living up to only 6% of it, it becomes a problem. Even right now, Tesla is already making bold claims about their Gigafactory here in the United States, that the Gigafactory is going to be the premier place for lithium-ion batteries, solar-related products, and electric vehicles, so that the next industrial revolution is not only based in America, but led by Tesla. Another very bold claim that Americans are still generally rooting for. It's just do it. Just make sure that you do it. But best of luck to Elon, man. I hope he's able to make this happen. After all, he makes a lot of money from solar. But also, homeowners can make a lot of money from solar. And if you're a homeowner with solar right now, click this video to find out how you can start getting paid just for having solar. Thanks for watching and have a good one.